Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thanks very much for watching that earwax removal compilation video today. Two patients in this compilation video. So you can see this first patient has a very sticky type of earwax. Now this is almost like a toffee consistency. It's really thick, it's really sticky. It's sticking very well to the canal walls here. You can see I've got the standard size Zollner tube in there, and as I'm trying to detach this wax, it's just stretching and then rebinding to the opposite canal wall. So I've introduced a little bit of olive oil in here, and that's just going to coat the canal wall. It's also going to coat the wax. So as I'm suctioning this in, it stops it from re-sticking back to the canal wall, but it also stops it from sticking to the inside of the suction tube a little bit as well. You do still get some sticking there, which we flush the suction tube every so often with a little bit of water just to take any bits that have accumulated inside and flush those into the tank. Now we've got some quite dense hair on the outer part of the ear canal. Now that's not your little sort of stereocilia, those little tiny hairs, those almost peach fuzz hairs that you get around the outer part of the ear canal entrance. This is actually the much thicker, denser, coarser hair that you tend to find appears just on the back of the tragus there. So just on the back of this little lump on the outer part of the ear. And those are coming across, and because the canal is quite narrow, it means they're crisscrossing over one another a little bit. We're getting a better view here. You can actually see the thicker, stickier wax and lots of tiny little hair trimmings basically embedded in there. That's the job of the wax, is to pick up any dirt and debris from the ear canal and transport it from that medial, deeper section of the canal to the outer lateral section and drop it out with the wax itself. Unfortunately, in this case, the ear canal is quite narrow, the wax is quite sticky, so as it's getting into that outer section, it's just not coming away very easily. So we're just working this plug out now. We're down to one of the deeper sections of wax here, just working this down the canal, out, and you can see it just wants to keep binding to that canal wall. It really doesn't want to come out easily. So I'm having to really kind of wiggle this back and forth. You'll see a little bit of blurring to the camera there. That's actually, we hit a little bit of olive oil on those hairs on the outer part of the canal. But we've got this thick plug of wax there, just working its way down. Oh, it's nearly there. There we go. Out that comes. So you can see the whole thing all the way out the ear canal. Let's take a look beyond that. There's the eardrum there looking nice and healthy. So this is what it looked like to start with, and this is what it looks like afterwards. You can see a very different ear canal there. Now we've got exactly the same issue on this canal, but the canal here is a little bit smaller, a little bit narrower, and you can see I'm actually having to push the canal open a little bit just to get the suction tube inside. Luckily, the wax is a little bit harder in this case, so we managed to hold onto it really easily and draw this forward. You can see it's coming out in harder, bigger, chunkier pieces here as well. It's another bit further in. Guys, hope you enjoyed your videos from last week. I haven't caught up with the comments yet. It's my first day back in clinic today. It's been absolutely manic today, so I'm just hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have a bit of time tomorrow to go back through your comments just in case there's anything you guys wanted me to go over. So this is coming through really well. Out that comes. Let's take a look beyond it. There we go. There's the eardrum looking nice and healthy. So this is what it looked like to start with, and this is what it looks like afterwards. Now, this is what we removed. So just over 5 centimeters, just under 2¼ inches worth of earwax there, guys. Make sure you stay tuned for the second patient in this compilation video. My goodness, the second patient, the ear canal was so dark just because there was so much sticky wax in there. There, you can see what I mean. It's actually just absorbing all the light from the endoscope. And you can see I'm finding it really difficult to get a good view of where the canal twists and bends in this ear canal here. So we're having to, the first thing I want to do here is just try and expose some of the ear canal. Now we use the ear canal as a guide as to how deep we are inside the ear canal itself. So there are certain features we expect to see in the ear canal. We've got certain bends that we expect to see, which will give us a good gauge as to how deep we are in. We can't see those at the moment, and that way then we don't know. If we just go straight in there with suction without exposing those, we could end up hitting the side of the canal wall, which we know is very uncomfortable for the patient. So what I'm doing here is detaching this softer layer of wax and just pulling it all into the middle. That way then I get an outline. I can see where the edges of this plug are. We can see that really easily here. And I was hoping if we pulled it all into that central section, then it would detach and we'd be able to pull this really easily. This has gone a bit like chewing gum though. It's very thick and tacky and sticky, and it's just really pliable as well. So it doesn't, it's like almost like a blue tack, or probably thinner, slightly squishier blue tack there if you like. So we're trying to bring this out, and it's really not wanting to come out easily. It's really adhering to those canal walls quite firmly in places as well. Now we're going to bring the plug down, but we go from quite an open sort of wider portion of the canal. It comes to a choke point, and that's what we've hit now. And you can see as I'm trying to wiggle, almost walk this plug of wax out of that particular section of the ear canal, it doesn't want to come away very easily, and it's just getting a little bit stuck. And we're just holding on to the front section just to try and wiggle this through. But what it's going to do is break that front section away. You can see that's what's happened here. So we'll just get rid of that. You can see that front section just sheared off this plug, but at least we can see now where we are behind. We've made the plug that little bit smaller, and anything we do to make the plug smaller is going to make it easier to get through this particular gap here. So it's coming away really well. Let's give this a little bit more of a wiggle. There you go, out that comes. You can see, oh, like a ball, a round ball of wax. Now, we couldn't see beyond that. Now, when you take a look at the piece of wax beyond that, you'll see this big old dent right in the middle of it. Now, experienced waxaholics, you guys who watch these channels very, very regularly are going to know exactly what that means. It means the patient's been using some cotton buds or Q-tips. Now, the patient did actually admit to using cotton buds a while back, but then started watching some of our videos on TikTok and realized it wasn't the best thing to do, so stopped using them. But this is a hang-up from when they were using from their Q-tip, from their cotton bud days, and you can see they've pushed this piece of wax, and what this does is squish that soft, squishy wax together and really kind of pummeled it into this really hard, really dry section of the earwax that was very deep in that far more medial section of the ear canal there. Let's take a look beyond that. Now that's gone. Eardrum looking lovely. They're really, really healthy. This is where I looked at before. You can see we couldn't see any features at all. Lovely, clear looking eardrum there. Patient hearing so much better. So we've got 2 centimeters worth of wax, just under 3/4 of an inch there, guys. Well, guys, I hope you did enjoy that video as much as I did voicing it over. If you did, you can give us a thumbs up. You can give us a heart. You can subscribe. You can follow. You can do all those things for me. It would be absolutely fantastic. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. And I'll see you again for the next video. Bye, everyone.